want to know which planet was causing your suffering? How about Earth?
Hey everyone, Brandflakes here, back with a new Duelists video. For today's video, I kind of want to just talk and ramble about the game. It's been a while since I've been able to make a YouTube video just because of allergy season and then subsequent sickness and then, lingering cough. But I think that cough has mostly gone away, so I really want to get back into the YouTube content. And I figured that since this video is pretty likely not going to do that great because the Duels of Eden landscape is pretty quiet, and I pretty much was the main person making consistent commentary videos on Duels of Eden, and with my absence, I'm assuming the audience has kind of moved away, so my bad guys. But with all that said, I don't know why I even brought that up, honestly, but I just wanted to say all that to bring up the fact that I do want to talk about the future of Duels of Eden, in my opinion, and where it can go. Just first and foremost, very obviously, I am pretty biased. I do really like this game, and I do think that this game can be really successful and really popular if it gets the chance with bigger streamers and bigger content creators. But there's a really big elephant in the room that we have to address. That's going to be how hard it is to get into the game. And I've been trying my best, or at least I tried my best on release, to kind of provide as much educational content as possible in order to ease that new player experience going to the game, just because, again, it's a card game, fighting game, where you have to actively watch your opponent's hand, your hand, think about the decisions that you can make, they can make, aim everything, do everything, and then execute it all at once. Obviously, it's very, very overwhelming. And I feel like I've kind of, I don't think I failed necessarily, because I know that a lot of people have started the game and tried the game because of my videos, but I do think that I failed in the idea that I haven't managed to successfully create the propaganda that Duels of Eden is actually very approachable, assuming that there are other players that are at your skill level playing and improving along with you. And that's really the big reason, or rather that's the big issue we have right now with Duels of Eden, where a lot of the players that are playing at the moment are players that have started at launch and then kept grinding through launch, or players that have had access to the game through the alpha testing phase and have kept playing through the alpha testing phase. So if you're a new player getting to Duels of Eden, not only will you not really get queues, you won't really know that you have to join Discord to actually get games outside of your unrated and rated queue because of how quiet the game is, and then that kind of perpetuates this cyclical issue of oh, new player wants to play, but they don't have any friends to play with. They really want to play the game though, so they join unrated, wait 45 minutes, no one hits the queue, and then they just quit forever because obviously who would want to play a game after waiting 45 minutes and not getting a queue? Or let's say that you do get a queue and then you match up with somebody who's been playing the game since launch, since 2 months ago, and you get absolutely rolled and you're like, well, that wasn't even fun, why would I play this game again? So I do think that this game really does need an active content creator, like somebody with a few thousand viewers, somebody with tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of subscribers on YouTube to really actively play the game for a solid month. And then with that, attention from the content creator, if all their viewers and all that traction they get, flows a good new players population to the game, and then obviously the existing players are really helpful and guide everyone through it, and then maybe we have some improvements to the tutorial and explanations of the system to make everything more streamlined, I think the game would be in a really solid place. But obviously right now we're in a place where we do have to really do this grassroots support for the game and really try and figure out how we're going to try and retain new players from now on. And I think if we aren't able to figure out how to get new players to start playing, get games, and continue playing, we're probably in a rut with this game, just because, again, short of a miracle of an Among Us scenario where, offline TV or someone of that status, a group of that status, picks up the game and plays for 3 months straight because of another plague lockdown, right? The game is probably going to be quiet for the rest of the time, which isn't the biggest deal. As long as there's some people playing, obviously, people will still filter in, filter out, and the game should be good enough to, be alive for years to come. But I would really love to see the game be really successful, just because I think the game's really fun, and it's honestly a shame that the game isn't bigger than it is, just because, again, the skill floor or the skill entry seems so insurmountable that people are just turned off by it. But so, with that said, I do really want to try my own hand at making, the new player experience a bit more friendly. And I don't really know how, again, don't really know how much traction this video will get. So I'll probably end up repeating the idea a lot throughout my next few videos. So if you're watching this video and then you see me bring it up 10 times for the next 10 videos and you're kind of annoyed, just understand that it's because I don't know which videos will do well. I'm not a YouTube guru, so I don't really know the algorithm that well. So I'm just hoping that one of these videos will perform really well, and then people decide to give the game a try again, and then hear my call to action and hop on during that time. But anyways, all that aside, what I want to try and do is I really want to try and get the community to kind of hold these unrated queue spam events on a regular basis. So like whether it's Saturday 6 p.m. EST or maybe even like 8 p.m. EST on Saturday, just so that the West Coast can kind of wake up and start queuing, and then everyone queues for like an hour or two just to let the new players kind of get their games in, and just to have a player spike that people can see on the Steam player charts, just so that people can kind of have the fake hope that they can play the game and they don't have to join a Discord game or sit in a queue for 45 minutes. If we just have a way to have a consistent player spike or just like a constant buzz and unrated, like not even saying that the unrated queue should be popping 24/7. I think it should be popping at least within each region's major activity hours for at least 2 hours a day, and I think that'd be really useful. But I don't really know how we're going to manipulate the players to do that, if that makes sense. So if you guys have any ideas, please let me know. Personally, I'm going to be waiting for the ladder reset. If that happens anytime soon, I have no idea. But when the ladder reset happens, I'm going to be looking to hold a event where I try and get everyone to spam Q rank to hit 3,000 ranked points, or whatever the new, super high tier rank points is, with whatever Eden Dead decides to do. And then seeing whoever has the highest MMR after those 2 weeks, or whoever hits that random threshold first, and then doing a cash prize and seeing Eden that will let me ask for a custom title with that. And then, a week after that, do a tournament, because everyone's all warmed up after spamming ladder. And obviously, that won't really help with new player queue. That'll probably end up just creating more content, hopefully, for the generic population, which I hope is interesting. But it's really hard to say because, again, this is a very indie game for a very difficult game on the surface. And again, I said this earlier in the video, I don't think the game is that hard to get into if you're playing people of your skill level. That's how I got into the game back in 2023, April alpha test, when it was open, I think it was for Next Fest or something, or it was a Next Fest, it was like the actual alpha test. And during that time, there were so many people playing. I don't know if it's because someone streamed the game at the time, and so we had those viewers playing, but that was during a time where everyone was willing to get to know the game. Everyone was like having fun, experimenting with artifacts and spells in this really cool game they hadn't seen before. And then we had a big tournament at the end of that open alpha test, and that tournament was massive. And I really want to see if we can try and get that vibe, but more consistently and constantly in the game. And I don't know if that's just having more prize pool tournaments, if that's somehow having more new player geared tournaments or events. I know Greasy Goose tries to have his Pumping Iron at the Dojo event, and I feel like that does get some traction, but it's never quite good enough, because I don't know, again, if we just don't have the correct advertising for it. So if you guys, please, again, if you guys are newer players, if you guys are people that have tried to get into Duelists of Eden, and you really want, and you've gotten this far into the video, and I hope that means you care a little bit, please let me know if you have any ideas in the comments below. It'd be really helpful to know if, there are any ideas you guys have to make the game more approachable, because again, I do think this game deserves to be more popular, just because, again, I am biased. If you guys look at my YouTube history, I've been playing mostly indie games the entire time. Like, my first game was Eternal Return, then I did Duelists of Eden, I did Relink, which was kind of an indie game, but not really. But I really just follow my heart on what I think is fun, which just happens to be a lot of those quieter games. Like, it's not, I never played League of Legends, I never played Valorant or Dota. Like, these are huge games that have huge audiences, but I don't have fun playing those games because, I don't know, I kind of just grew out of them because I played them a lot in the past. And I do think that the games I play, like Eternal Return back in the day, Duelists of Eden now, Relink back when it first came out, I do think these are really quality games that probably deserve not nearly as much attention as those massive, multi-million player games, but I do think it deserves at least like 0.1% of that population. Just a few thousand people, maybe a few hundred people to be playing, because I think these games are really quality, and I think it'd be really fun just to see how the meta evolves, how the community evolves, and how everything evolves if we have more people playing and pushing everyone forward, and just creating a fun time all around. But yeah, this is a super rambly video. I just want to get my thoughts out on the future of the game, because I do just want to have, I get those thoughts out there, and just to see if anyone is interested in those thoughts, because I do plan on returning to making videos about, like, characters, the cars, the strategies, the combos. Like, I'll generically be doing that, but I do want to occasionally sprinkle in ramble videos just to, air out my thoughts, because I am a yapper. I love just I love the sound of my voice, and I love talking to myself about these things that I care about, and I hope that you guys enjoy that too, especially with the gameplay going on in the background, which is hopefully fun to watch. Big thanks to Varia for letting me use the gameplay that we played in our custom sets like just 10 minutes ago, or like 30 minutes before I recorded this video. Unfortunately, it won't be all the gameplay, but it should be most of it, and I really hope it's fun. So if there's still more to the sets that's playing in the background, I am not watching the sets, I'm just rambling, and I'm going to put the games after I record. So if there's still a bit of set left, then enjoy the rest of the set. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a good day or night wherever you are, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.